The wind had already started to settle when he heard it. Soft footsteps dragging through the dust, hesitant trembling. When the cowboy turned, he didn't expect to see a woman standing there. Her shoulders shaking, her eyes red, as if she had been holding back tears for miles. She looked exhausted, defeated, and yet somehow still hopeful, as if this moment was her last chance in the world. "No one wants me," she whispered, her voice cracking like dry bark. "I need a husband. I need someone to help me live. Please just listen to me before you turn me away." The cowboy froze. He had never heard a plea so raw, so painfully honest. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Moments of Love and leave a like and comment if this story touches your heart. She stood clutching a small woven bag to her chest, as though it held her entire world. Dust clung to the fringes of her dress, and her braids had loosened in the wind. But it wasn't her appearance that struck him. It was the despair in her eyes. It was a kind of loneliness he understood all too well. He slowly lowered the bucket he had been carrying from the well. "Ma'am, you look like you've come a far way. Sit. You don't need to speak until you're ready." But she shook her head. "If I sit, I might lose the courage to speak at all." He nodded silently, waiting. "My people, they don't want me anymore," she said, trying hard not to break. "I lost everything, my family, my home, even the chance to rebuild. I tried to work, I tried to survive alone. But every door closed, every face turned away, and now I have nowhere left to go." Her breath shivered, "So I came here. I heard you are kind. I heard you don't turn people away in need." The cowboy swallowed. Kind. That was a word he hadn't been called in years. Not since his own wife had passed. Not since he built walls around himself so high he couldn't even see the sky some days. "What's your name?" he asked gently. "Lena," she whispered. "Well, Lena, I don't know about husbands, but I do know you're safe on my land. No one here's gonna turn you away." Her eyes filled instantly, as if kindness was the one thing that could break her, more than cruelty. "You don't understand," she said, stepping closer. "I need someone to stand with me. Not because of love, not yet, but because life is not letting me stand alone anymore." He could hear how desperately she hated asking. She wasn't begging from weakness. She was begging because life had left her no other choice. He took a long breath and motioned toward the small cabin porch. "Come sit, tell me everything." She hesitated, then followed him. Sitting carefully on the step, as though she feared she might not be allowed to stay long. "My husband died 2 winters ago." She began softly as sickness took him fast. "I had nothing left but memories in a small place in my tribe. But when food grew scarce, when times grew harder, those without family were the first to be pushed aside. I became a burden, a reminder of loss." They didn't say it out loud, but I could feel it, I could see it. The cowboy listened without interrupting. "I tried to marry again," she continued. "But everyone had excuses. Too old, too broken, too much sorrow. I walked from settlement to settlement. People judged me before hearing me. They saw me as someone asking for too much, when really I only needed a chance. A place to be human again." She brushed her sleeve across her cheek. "So I came here because I heard you don't chase people away." The cowboy looked out toward the horizon, remembering his own years of loneliness. "I don't know much about being the answer someone hopes for," he said quietly, "but I do know how it feels to stand alone for too long." Lena's lips trembled. "Then maybe we can help each other stand." Her words struck him deeper than she knew. "Stay tonight," he said softly. "You're hungry, you're tired, and you deserve rest that night." She slept peacefully for the first time in years, and he realized how long it had been since he'd offered comfort to another soul. In the days that followed, she cooked, cleaned, tended the animals, and spoke to him with a soft warmth that felt like sunlight. Through shutters. She never pressed him for answers. She simply existed with gentle presence. He caught himself smiling more, laughing quietly, feeling alive. One morning he found her planting seeds outside. "I'm planting things that grow slowly," she said, "the kind that take a long time to bloom. I think that kind suits us." He didn't know how to respond to the truth in her words. That evening she brought him water in the barn. Her hands trembled slightly. "You work too hard," she whispered. "No one should live tired." He looked down at her trembling fingers and realized she was caring for him carefully, cautiously, but truly. "Lena," he said softly, "I've spent a long time trying not to feel anything. Losing someone, it changes you." She nodded. "I know hope can feel dangerous. But life doesn't give us many beginnings. When it does, we shouldn't turn away." Later they sat together on the porch, legs barely touching, silence warm between them. "I'm afraid to hope," she admitted. "Hope leaves you alone when it breaks." He took her hand slowly, giving her time to pull away. She didn't. "I don't want either of us to be afraid anymore," he said quietly. Her breath trembled. "Are we allowed to want something more?" He looked at her, really looked, and saw the gentle strength behind her fear. "I think we already do," he whispered. She leaned her head on his shoulder, and something inside both of them began to heal. Days passed, their connection grew naturally, gently. He learned her laugh, she learned his silence. They learned each other, but pain still lingered in her heart. One dawn he found her at the corral, staring at the horizon with fear in her eyes. "I'm afraid someone will come and say I don't belong here," she whispered. He stepped closer, voice low and steady. "You belong here because you choose to be here, and I choose to have you here." Her breath caught in her throat. He took her hands gently. "Lena, you came asking for a chance, but I think you gave me one too. A chance to live again." Tears slid down her cheeks. "I want to stay," she whispered. "Not because I need saving, but because you make me feel human again." He wrapped her in an embrace, warm and steady, and she sank into it like a home she never believed she'd find. Their story didn't need big declarations. It grew with shared meals, soft conversations, and quiet healing. Two broken souls choosing kindness over fear, choosing hope over loneliness, choosing each other. Because sometimes life gives one last chance. And when someone is brave enough to take it, everything lost can find its way home again.